Midnight shifts, they're the quiet kind of dangerous, where the hum of machines drowns out your thoughts, and your thoughts start whispering things you shouldn't think. Nurse Lena Miles knew the night well. 12 years in scrubs, 5 in the ER, 3 more in trauma, now stationed in post-op where silence wasn't peace. It was suspense. She didn't wear hope on her sleeve anymore, didn't believe in heroes, didn't cry when a code blue ended in a flatline. Not because she didn't feel, but because she'd felt too much. Too long, she had walls, and those walls kept her breathing. But tonight would break all of that. It started like any other, nurses exchanging reports like secrets, clipboard in hand, coffee in veins, too tired to care, too trained to stop. Room 308, they told her. He's new, post-op from county, no ID, just listed as John Doe. She hated those. No name, no history, no family, just a body and a chart. Just another ghost waiting to fade. Lena walked in with a sigh. Tall man, shaved head, bandaged abdomen. He was unconscious, intubated, sedated. Nothing unusual, except her stomach turned. That feeling, that gut-wrench twist she hadn't felt in years. Not since. No. She shook it off. Coincidence, stress, dehydration, but her hands trembled, her throat tightened. She adjusted his IV, checked vitals. All normal. Too normal. She scanned the chart. Gunshot wound. Abdominal entry. No exit. Surgery successful. Vitals stable. Sedation ongoing. Then her eyes hit the bottom of the chart. Transfer. Requested under legal custody. She paused. Legal custody. County transfers usually meant 2 things: jail or something worse, and her shift supervisor. Quiet, almost nervous. Lena didn't like it. She never did. She turned to leave. Then paused, looked back. She stared at his face. Something about him felt familiar. She stepped closer, leaned in. His brow, the scar above his left eye, his nose slightly off-center, like it had been broken once, long ago. Her heart dropped. No, it couldn't be. She reached into her locker on break, pulled out an old photo from her wallet, faded, torn at the corner. 2 kids, a girl in pigtails, a boy with a crooked smile, Jason, her brother, missing since he was 17, runaway. After mom died and foster, care split them up. She searched for years, letters unanswered, calls disconnected. Eventually she stopped, she had to, she survived. But he... She blinked back tears. It's not him. It can't be. But what if... She returned to room 308. He hadn't moved. Still asleep. Still sedated, still silent. She touched his hand, rough, calloused, warm. Jason, she whispered. Nothing, she sighed. Left the room, but she didn't leave it behind. Later that night, she overheard whispers in the break room. 2 guards, plain clothes, one with a clipboard, the other holding a syringe. We can't wait for him to wake up, one said. Orders are clear. Lena froze, peered through the crack of the door. The clipboard said, Subject Jason Miles. Miles, not Miles, close enough to disappear in the system, far enough to be missed. She gasped, clutched her chest. It was him, and they weren't guarding him, they were here to finish him. She backed away, mind racing, hands shaking. What do I do? What can I do? She was just a nurse, not a lawyer, not a cop, not a hero, but she was a sister. And that night she made a choice. She snuck into the med closet, switched the vials, replaced the paralytic with saline, deleted backup logs, and waited as they entered room 308, waited as they injected him, waited until they left. And then she ran to his side, checked his heart, still beating, barely. She held his hand, tears streaming. I got you, Jason, she whispered, and for the first time in 2 decades, she didn't feel alone. Please like and subscribe for more true crime content. She should have walked away. She should have closed the door, filed the paperwork, and pretended she never saw him. But ghosts don't fade when they scream your name. She pulled the curtain, sat beside him, watched the IV drip and the slow rhythm of his chest rising. She whispered again. Michael, it's me. His eyes opened this time, slits barely there, but focused. He saw her and cried silent tears, the kind that burn. I looked for you, he rasped. Everywhere. Lena bit her lip, tried not to break. You left. I didn't. He coughed, a deep tearing sound. They took me, state ward in Northridge, no contact, no phone. By the time I got out, you were gone. I searched the system, she whispered. They said you aged out, disappeared. He turned his head. Just enough. Pain etched on every inch of his face. I never stopped looking. Neither. Did she? The silence between them was sacred, broken only by machines and memory. Then she told him about Mason, the envelope, the order. He didn't flinch, didn't even blink. Yeah, he said. I figured. Why? She asked, voice shaking. Because I was going to testify. She leaned in. Testify. Organ smuggling, he said. Black market surgeries, admin cover-ups. Started at Northridge Hospital. Same place they dumped me. I saw too much. You were going to expose them? He nodded. Barely. They found out, tried to shut me up, didn't work. Now I'm here. She stood, paced. The walls felt like they were closing in. Why didn't you come to me? I didn't know where you were. Didn't think you'd still be in the system. I wasn't. And she told him. Everything, the nights alone, the jobs, the school, the pain, the grind, the hunger, the sacrifice, and the walls she built to keep herself from drowning. He listened, like only a brother could. Then he said it. We're going to burn them down. What? This hospital, this cover-up, Mason, the board, all of them. She shook her head. You'll die. He looked at her. No fear, only fire. Then let them know what I died for. She didn't sleep. Didn't. He just planned. And when morning came, she didn't clock out. She went straight to HR, filed a formal report, copied everything, sent it to the Department of Health, to Internal Affairs, to the press, every name, every payment, every shady discharge order. She didn't stop. Because justice doesn't come when you whisper, it comes when you scream. Mason found her in the stairwell, eyes wild, face flushed. You stupid girl, she didn't flinch. You signed your own death warrant. She stared him down. No, she said. I signed yours. That night, she stayed by Michael's side, armed guard posted at the door, hospital buzzing with whispers, and when the media trucks pulled in the next morning, she stood at the entrance, press folder in hand, voice steady. My name is Lena Crowe, I'm a nurse, and I'm done being silent. Please tell us where you are watching from on the comment section. 2 weeks later, the hospital was a war zone, but not the kind with bullets, the kind with subpoenas, cameras, protests outside the main lobby, feds walking through hallways like they owned the place, because now they did. Mason, gone, disappeared, overnight, no forwarding address, but they were closing in. Board members resigned, quietly, like rats abandoning a ship they swore would never sink. But it was Lena who stood on deck as it burned, and Michael still breathing, still recovering, but not hiding. The moment he could sit upright, he gave his statement, on record, on camera. With trembling hands and steel in his eyes, I was taken, silenced, beaten, bribed, but I survived, because truth has a longer shelf life than fear. They aired the clip on every channel, every feed. It spread like wildfire. People started talking. Other nurses, other patients, other hospitals. Skeletons spilled, cases reopened, victims returned. And Lena, she testified in front of a grand jury, in front of the nation, not just for her brother, for every file they buried, for every life they sold, for every kid who vanished into systems that were supposed to protect them. 1 month later, Lena walked into room 214. This time, no machines. No panic, just sunlight through half-open blinds. Michael sat up, bandages gone, eyes clearer. "You did it," he whispered. "No," she said. "We did." He laughed. Soft, tired. "You still suck at accepting compliments." She smiled. "First, time and years, it didn't hurt to do it. You still snore like a chainsaw." They sat in that peace, not needing words, not needing the past to be explained, because survival was enough, and love, real love, doesn't need apologies, just presence. Months passed. The hospital got new management, new protocols, new eyes. But Lena, she was done. She left her badge on the HR desk. "I came here to save people," she said, "but I won't do it in a place that buries the ones they couldn't." She started her own clinic. Low-income families, runaways, system kids, free care. No red tape. Michael joined her, used his story to advocate, to fight. They didn't have much, but they had each other and purpose. Final scene, voiceover, style ending. Sometimes we walk into rooms that feel like tombs. We're handed orders that could end lives. We're tested, not by what we say, but by what we refuse to do. Lena Crowe was no hero on paper, but heroes don't need capes. They need courage. And when the system put a price on her brother's head, she didn't count the cost. She broke the chain. So if you're out there, feeling silenced, buried, or betrayed, remember this. Justice is loud, but it starts in whispers, and the strongest people aren't the ones who win battles. They're the ones who choose not to lose themselves, not for money, not for power, not even for survival, but for love and truth. The end. Like and share. Thank you for watching.